Walk down a bustling street in Manila, and you might hear Tagalog intertwined with American slang. The sounds of vendors calling out their wares, the chatter of people mixing languages seamlessly, it's a vibrant mosaic of cultural fusion. Order a meal, and you'll likely be offered a fork alongside a spoon. This simple dining habit, a blend of Western and Eastern practices, is a small yet telling sign of the American influence that has seeped into everyday Filipino life. Look closer and you'll see it. The imprint of America on the soul of the Philippines. From the neoclassical buildings that line the streets to the educational system that mirrors that of the United States, the echoes of a colonial past are ever present. It's a complex relationship, born of conflict and nurtured by shared history. The ties between these two nations are woven with threads of war, cooperation, and cultural exchange. To understand this bond, we need to journey back in time to a period when the fate of these two nations became irrevocably entwined. The late 19th century was a turning point, a moment when the Philippines found itself at the crossroads of history. The Philippines, an archipelago of over 7,000 islands, has always held a strategic allure. Its location made it a coveted prize for any power looking to dominate the region. Located in the heart of Southeast Asia, it was a gateway to the riches of the East. The islands were a crucial stopover for ships and a melting pot of cultures, where East met West in a vibrant exchange of goods and ideas. For centuries, the islands were a crossroads of cultures, shaped by traders, colonizers, and indigenous traditions. The Spanish, the Chinese, the Malays, all left their mark, weaving a vibrant mosaic of cultural influences. But it was the arrival of the Americans in the late 19th century that would leave an indelible mark on the nation's destiny. The Spanish-American War of 1898 saw the Philippines ceded to the United States, setting the stage for a new era of American influence. This wasn't a meeting of equals. The power dynamics were stark, with the Americans imposing their will and vision on the Filipino people. This was about power, about one nation imposing its will on another. The Filipinos, who had just begun to taste the possibility of independence from Spanish rule, found themselves under a new colonial master. The Americans, eager to expand their empire, saw the Philippines as a strategic prize in their competition with European powers. The archipelago was not just a collection of islands, but a key to projecting power in the Pacific. The Filipinos, yearning for independence after centuries of Spanish rule, found themselves thrust into another struggle for self-determination. Their fight for freedom was far from over, and the shadow of American influence would loom large over their quest for nationhood.
The Americans promised freedom, a beacon of hope after centuries of Spanish oppression. They arrived with grand promises of liberation and progress, painting a picture of a brighter future for the Filipino people. The initial reception was mixed, with some Filipinos welcoming the new colonizers, hoping for a better life under American rule. But the Filipinos soon learned that freedom often comes at a price. The reality of American colonization quickly set in, revealing a complex and often harsh new order. The promises of liberty and self-governance were overshadowed by the imposition of American control and interests. The American takeover was brutal, marked by a bloody war that claimed the lives of thousands of Filipinos and Americans. The Philippine-American War, often referred to as the Forgotten War, was a devastating conflict that left deep wounds on both sides. The Filipinos, who had just fought for their independence from Spain, found themselves in another grueling battle for their sovereignty. The conflict, often overlooked in history books, left deep scars on the Filipino psyche. Families were torn apart, villages were destroyed, and the sense of betrayal was palpable. The war's aftermath saw a country struggling to rebuild and come to terms with its new reality under American rule. Despite the violence, the Americans set about transforming the Philippines in their own image. They introduced new systems of governance, infrastructure, and education, aiming to modernize the archipelago. Roads, bridges, and buildings sprang up, symbolizing progress, but also the deepening grip of American influence. They established a new education system, modeled after their own, teaching English as the language of instruction. This shift in education was profound, as it not only changed the medium of learning, but also the content, embedding American values and perspectives into the Filipino consciousness. They introduced American-style democracy, holding elections and establishing a legislative body. However, this democracy was limited, with real power remaining firmly in American hands. The semblance of self-governance was often just that, a semblance, with true autonomy still out of reach for the Filipinos. And they brought with them their culture, their music, their movies, their fast food, which seeped into the fabric of Filipino society. American cultural exports became a significant part of daily life, influencing everything from entertainment to cuisine, and creating a blend of cultures that was both enriching and contentious. This period of American rule, while bringing about modernization and development, also sowed the seeds of resentment. The benefits of progress were often unevenly distributed, with many Filipinos feeling marginalized and exploited. The economic and social changes, while significant, did not always translate to improved lives for the average Filipino. Filipinos found themselves caught between two worlds, their own rich cultural heritage and the pervasive influence of American culture. This cultural tug-of-war created a unique but often conflicted identity, as Filipinos navigated the complexities of maintaining their traditions while adapting to new influences. They were encouraged to embrace American ideals while being denied full equality and autonomy. The contradictions of American rule were stark, as the rhetoric of freedom clashed with the reality of colonial subjugation. This dissonance fueled a growing sense of injustice and a desire for true independence. The promise of freedom remained unfulfilled, a source of simmering tension between the colonizers and the colonized. Protests and acts of defiance became more common, as Filipinos voiced their discontent and demanded their rights. The struggle for independence was far from over, and the seeds of resistance were firmly planted. This tension would eventually erupt into open resistance, fueling a nationalist movement that would ultimately lead to the Philippines' independence. The journey to freedom was long and arduous, but the resilience and determination of the Filipino people would eventually prevail, marking the end of a tumultuous chapter in their history.
World War II brought new complexities to the Filipino-American relationship. The Japanese invasion of the Philippines in 1941 thrust the two nations together in a desperate struggle for survival. Filipino and American soldiers fought side by side, enduring unimaginable hardship and brutality in places like Bataan and Corregidor. The Bataan Death March, a horrific testament to the cruelty of war, saw thousands of Filipino and American prisoners subjected to unimaginable cruelty. This shared ordeal forged a powerful bond, a testament to their shared sacrifice and resilience. The war's aftermath saw the Philippines granted independence in 1946, yet the ties forged in conflict remained strong. The United States, recognizing the strategic importance of the Philippines in the emerging Cold War, continued to exert significant influence over its former colony. Military bases were established, economic aid flowed, and the Philippines became a key ally in America's fight against communism. This period saw the relationship evolve into one of interdependence, albeit an unequal one. The Philippines, still recovering from the devastation of war, relied heavily on American aid and support. The United States, meanwhile, viewed the Philippines as a crucial outpost in a volatile region.
Even as the Philippines charted its own course, the influence of America remained deeply ingrained. The English language, introduced during the colonial period, became one of the country's official languages, shaping its education system, media, and popular culture. American brands, from Coca-Cola to Levi's, became ubiquitous, symbols of modernity and aspiration. American-style democracy, with its emphasis on elections and individual rights, became the model for the Philippine political system. The American legal system also left its mark, with many of its principles and practices adopted by the Philippine judiciary. However, this blend of American influence with Filipino traditions has often resulted in a unique and sometimes contradictory cultural landscape. Nowhere is this fusion more evident than in jeepneys, the iconic Filipino public transportation. These brightly decorated vehicles, originally repurposed from American military jeeps left over from World War II, are a symbol of Filipino ingenuity and resourcefulness. They are also a testament to the enduring legacy of American influence. a visible reminder of the complex interplay of history, culture, and identity that defines the Filipino-American experience.
Today, the relationship between the Philippines and the United States continues to evolve, shaped by military alliances, economic ties, and shared cultural experiences. The Visiting Forces Agreement and Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement underscore the strategic military partnership, enabling joint exercises and cooperation in regional security. This bond is not just about defense, it's a bridge that fosters understanding and collaboration between the two nations' armed forces. Economically, the connection is equally robust. The United States remains one of the Philippines' largest trading partners, with billions of dollars in goods and services exchanged each year. American companies invest heavily in the Philippine market, creating jobs and contributing to the country's growth. This economic interdependence highlights the mutual benefits that have emerged from decades of engagement. Beyond politics and economics, the cultural exchange between the two countries is vibrant and ongoing. American music, movies, and television shows are immensely popular in the Philippines, influencing everything from fashion to language. Filipinos have also made their mark in the United States, contributing to the diverse mosaic of American culture. This cultural synergy is perhaps most visible in the realm of pop culture, where Filipino artists, athletes, and entertainers have gained international recognition and acclaim. While echoes of the past still resonate, the modern relationship between the Philippines and the United States stands as a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the pursuit of a shared future. Shaped by history yet driven by hope and optimism, this connection embodies the enduring spirit of both nations. Whether through history, family ties, or pop culture, one thing remains certain: the Filipino-American bond is among the strongest international relationships in the world.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out the related video on your screen for more fascinating content. Explore our channel for a diverse collection of engaging videos. If you found this video to be insightful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for additional engaging content. Your support is invaluable to us, and we look forward to your presence in our next video.